Hey guys, so today we're checking out the Axial clear LED front turn signals fitting all 2007 to 2018 JK Wranglers. So if you're looking for an upgrade in lighting for the front end of your Wrangler, turn signals are always a great place to start. This option by Axial is going to be a very affordable option to take a look at. These turn signals are going to be a big upgrade from the factory, integrating LED technology, which will create a brighter and cleaner light, be a lot more noticeable when you're driving around on the street, and they're going to be perfect if you're looking to match any other LEDs that you already have mounted up to your Wrangler. These are going to have two strips in the middle that are going to act as a daytime running light and illuminate a bright white color, and then the rest of the LEDs inside are going to illuminate an amber color. So when you are not using your turn signals, these are going to create a very clean look and of course create a more custom look than some other options that are out there without that daytime running light. Not to mention they're also going to be a little bit more durable for you guys out there that are looking for a lighting setup that's going to hold up on the trail, and they're going to be a perfect replacement for anybody who's looking to replace a damaged or worn out turn signal and just wants an overall upgrade in the meantime. Now, like I mentioned before, these are going to be very affordable for an LED turn signal at roughly $50 for this set. Now, in comparison to some other choices, you're usually just gonna have a little bit of a difference in design overall. So other traditional options are usually just going to keep that amber lens or keep that halogen bulb. And then other choices on the site are usually going to integrate LEDs like this. However, they may not have the daytime running light, or they may just have a smoked or amber lens instead of this clear option like this. Now, I personally think that this stands out from the rest as far as a turn signal setup goes, and this is definitely going to create a good look and some good functionality on the front end of your Wrangler. And these are going to be very easy to install at a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. Most of the job is plug and play. However, there's a little bit of wiring that we have to do, but it's nothing you can't get done with some very basic hand tools. So speaking of that install, let's jump into that now. The tools that I used for my install were a trim removal tool, a flathead screwdriver, a pair of pliers, and a wire crimping tool. So our first step is to pop our hood, and then we can go ahead and take off our grill. Before we can disconnect the grill, what we need to do is unplug our turn signal. You can just press down on the tab and pull back, and then same on the other side. Next, we can remove these 6 clips that are holding in the top part of our grill. I'm going to use a trim removal tool. And once those are out, we can pull back on our grill and fully remove it. It's going to be held by a couple clips at the bottom, so we just have to give it a good pull. Now that we have our grill off of our Wrangler, what we need to do next is remove our turn signal out of our grill. So you'll just need a flathead screwdriver. We're just gonna press down the tabs and push it out of the grill. So all we have to do is push in these tabs and push down. Make sure that it passes by the grill itself. And we can push it forward. And that's how you remove the turn signal. So we can do the same thing on the other side too. Before we hop into the install, I wanted to stop down and tell you guys a little bit more about this new turn signal setup and what benefits you're going to see out of these new lights in comparison to our factory ones. Now, right off the bat, we can tell that these are going to be set up a lot differently. They're going to have a clear lens and a barred design over the factory amber lens, and these are also going to be a lot more durable considering that these are made of a polycarbonate material in comparison to the standard plastic material. So these are going to hold up a lot better, especially when you guys are out on the trail, and they're just going to give you a more custom look to the front end of your Jeep instead of the factory amber lens. Now, the big step up is with the lighting performance, and this option by Axial is going to have multiple LEDs integrated into the design. Now, our factory turn signals are going to have a dual filament halogen bulb that's not going to be as efficient and not going to hold up for a long period of time in comparison to the LEDs. Now, those LEDs are going to be a lot more noticeable and a lot brighter when you're out out on the street and just look a lot cleaner and more modernized mounted up to your grill. What I do really like about these is that these are going to be a direct replacement. These are going to mount up exactly the same way as our factory ones did, and it is mostly plug and play with a little bit of wiring. So speaking of that install, let's jump into that. So our lights are going to be side specific. They do have an L and an R labeled on the back of each of them. So I'm going to do the left-hand side first, put our wiring through, and then these will mount up again the same exact way. All we have to do is just push them into the grill. Hear a little click. All right, you just want to make sure that that clip is seated. Then we can take our factory turn signal, remove the bulb by just twisting the socket. We can take out our factory bulb, and we actually will be reusing our socket. So this is what our turn signal is going to be plugged into. Once that's in place, what we can do is put in the socket and turn. And then that's our one light. We can do the same thing on the other side. What we can do next is wire up our turn signal. So we are going to need to disconnect our marker light. If you just reach under the front part of your fender, there's going to be a little connector there. Just press down on the tab and pull back. There's also going to be a clip. I would recommend to take a trim removal tool and just remove that. That's going to give you better access. And then we can go ahead and put a clip on here so we can add a spade connector and plug that into our turn signal. So what we can do now is take our red wire, this is our power wire for our turn signal, and wire this into our power wire on our marker light. So what we can do is add a power clip on our power wire. Just going to clamp it down with some pliers. Make sure that it's connected. Right, then we can add spade connector onto our power wire for our turn signal. Now you can wire this up directly into this. I just like this way, just because if we do have to remove our grill in the future, we can just disconnect it from this connector here. Clamp that down. I would recommend to heat shrink this, and then what we can do is just plug that in here. We can reattach this clip and plug our marker light back in. What we can do now is plug in our ballast. And then we can stick this on to our Wrangler. Now you want to make sure that this is away from any wires, just because this does get very hot. So Axial recommends to just put it right here. So what we can do now is repeat that on the other side. Now after we have both of them installed, what we can do is mount up our grill, plug in our turn signals, and reattach our clips. Just give it a good press. Once the grill's in place, what we can do is take our factory connector and plug that back in. Same for the other side. And our last step is just to reattach our clips up at the top of our grill. And then once the grill's reattached, we can just close up our hood. So that's gonna wrap it up for my review and install. Make sure you like and subscribe, and for more videos and products like this, always keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.